Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
But right now, the BuzzFeed article that we have is showing me the biggest advertisement for just Jason Mantzoukas' face. It's not promoting anything. It's just his face.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to feel about this right now.
Just wanted, just to remember,
Just to let me know and be aware that of his existence.
He's still around, He's still a guy. He's here.
I don't know how this happened, but I am acutely aware of the fact that Jason Mantzoukas is allergic to eggs. I don't know when that happened.
Sure.
But when I think of him, I know that about him.
Yeah. Well, that is a fun fact.
I can't tell you what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I do know that he is allergic to eggs. And that is an unfortunate part of how brains work. Welcome into the Twilight. Hello.
Hey, we're here.
Out here. We're here. We are alive. We persist. How are you?
I'm here. I'm living.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm bringing a show to the space. Okay? I'm bringing a little cheeky little show.
I'm really excited about this.
And it's called Overcompensating. And I've seen people dogging on this on Twitter.com. People have been taking some clips out of context. And yes, are all these people in their 30s playing college students? Yes. Fucking, it's fine, right? It's fine, okay?
Well, that's the whole thing.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I was like, okay, but let me watch though, because I know people who have watched it. A friend recommended it to us, and I was like, let's fucking do this, baby. And It's fucking funny. It's a good fucking show. So I'm here to defend, I'm here to honor, to prop up a fun gay show.
Okay.
Because we need more of these in these times.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking funny. I don't know the creator guy. I guess he's like a TikTok dude or whatever. He seems fine. I don't know his content though. But he wrote and created this. It's very pseudo autobiographical about being gay in college, but also being very straight passing, and being what if I just made my life easier and did frat stuff and sports stuff, but also I gotta figure out my shit, kind of stuff, which is fun. It's a fun concept. And this whole cast is just many alt comedy legends. Most notably, Caleb is also in it very briefly. We love that. He's wonderful. But my road dog, Holmes, previously on A Happy Thing, I think Welcome to Flatch, and also other things, also frequent guest on podcasts that I like to listen to, and frequent just funny person. And the work that they do in this show, the line deliveries that come out of their mouth is so beautiful to me, so special to me, because they're very much playing very straight, girl's girl, but in a way that is so diabolical and so your first roommate in college kind of vibe that you're what is happening? What is going on here? And I'm obsessed with it.
This sounds good. I don't know why people are hating. They must just be hating to hate, which is rude.
Yeah, I think mostly it's because there is a brief Charlie XCX cameo in it, and people have taken that to be she's not a good actress and she has all these projects lined up, right? But also very contextually in this, she is playing herself. She is Charlie XCX in the show, and it's just a very over, very boisterous version of herself. So I'm this is just not the critique you think it is.
Okay. Now I am looking at the IMDb page for this, and you are bearing the lead that Connie Britton is in this.
Oh my god, okay, yes. Connie Britton and Kyle MacLachlan are the main guy's parents in this show. And they're,
Dream.
first of all, inspired parent casting, by the way. Like, if I made a show about myself, absolutely, that's what I'm doing. Like, come on now.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
I would do that too. Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? Yeah, it's incredible. So they are in it somewhat briefly, but there is a Thanksgiving episode in which they are there much longer, and it's so beautiful. They're so good. I'm obsessed with them.
Whoa.
But it's just very funny. The writing is very good. It's very, like, you know, not a typical queer coming of age kind of story, but still familiar in beats, and very much about also, like, friendship and figuring your shit out and who you want to be when you're in college, you know? It's fun. It's a fun time.
I have only heard good things about this show, but I have not looked for it on twitter.com. So that might be why.
And that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I am excited about this. If I was making a show, why would you, especially if it was in college, I would also put Charlie XCX in it right now. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Come on. And she also did, like, all the music for the show too. So it's cool. Like, there are very good needle drops in here. There's a vroom vroom needle drop in which they're, like, on a golf cart. It's great. I had a great time with it. I think it's very cute. I really hope there's another season of it, because the way it ends, I would like to see more of what happens here, okay?
Okay.
I want to see more. I'm hooked.
Okay. All right.
This is my truth.
I love that.
Yeah. How are you doing, birthday girl? What the fuck's up?
I'm
up,
here.
girl?
I'm a year older than I was last week. As we were recording this, I had my birthday yesterday, which was great. My happy thing this week is I ordered myself birthday cake from, I had a gift card. Okay, everyone shut up. I had a gift card to a place called Gold Belly, which I had never heard of before I received this gift card. And so I needed to figure out how to use it. And this site has food from all different places. And I was like, well, I should probably use it for something for my birthday. And the problem was, a lot of the birthday cakes that were offered on there were like whole cakes.
Sure.
Which is nice, right? But storing that is awful.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, I was like, well, of course I could get it and then I could do it. I could manage to, like, cut it and then put it in the freezer and save it for later. Or I could find something where it's already done. That would be ideal. But, and this is not, I wish this was sponsored. It's not. I just honestly had a fucking gift card for this place and I wanted to use it. But apparently I was searching on Gold Belly and they had cakes from fucking Duff. They had Martha Stewart. They had Ina Garten, all these things. But here's the thing.
Okay.
They were all fancy, right? They were like, here's, do you want a coconut firework cake? And I was like, literally no. They were like, do you want a cake with a house inside? And I was like, no, I just want a confetti cake. I just want something that I could get at the store downstairs, down the street. But I want to use this gift card so I don't have to pay for it. TLDR, I ordered from this shop called Daisy Cakes. I think it's in Missouri, maybe?
Okay.
And I literally never heard of it before because why would I have? And they came in their own little containers so I could keep them in the freezer. And when I wanted a single serving of cake, I could keep it. And I could take it out.
Oh, yes.
Which was just so much more convenient than ordering a whole ass cake. So I tried it yesterday.
And you get a bunch of little cakes.
Exactly, right? And
That's
so
the dream. That's the dream.
Yesterday, for the first time, it was delicious. It was sweet, but not like makes your teeth hurt sweet.
Sure.
And it was exactly what I wanted. They had a mix and match, and I was like, no, I just literally want all of them to be birthday cake. Please, thank you. I don't want to try the other flavors because that's just who I am. But they were great. And so I left them a nice review, and I was like, these are perfect, thank you. But this is just a shout out to Gold Belly because y'all have a wild assortment of shit that I've literally never heard of before. So love that gift card. And then also Daisy Cakes. That was great. Appreciate it. We'll
Hell.
probably order from there again when I don't have a gift card, which is nice.
Hell yeah. Wow.
I just love a single serving. It's just the exact amount of cake that I want.
That's genius. It's such a good strat. And like, because, you know, cake is great, but it can be overwhelming. You're like, do I have to store it? Are these just going to sit in my freezer until I feel bad and then just throw them away because it's been too long, you know?
Well, because here's the thing, right?
Eat it all.
If I order a cake, right, that could serve, I don't know, all of the ones I was looking at say they serve like 4 to 6. If I just get that and I keep it in the fridge, then obviously I'm just going to eat the goddamn cake, right?
Right.
It's going to be a fucking Matilda situation. I'm going to eat the cake and I'm going to get a stomach ache.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to myself, right? In the moment, it'll feel great, but then I'm going to have a stomach ache. And who caused it? Me.
Right.
So,
it's all my fault.
It's nobody's fault but mine, right? So I could do that and then potentially waste it because then it's dried out. Or I can take 2 seconds and think ahead and just, you know, keep them in the freezer and they'll be fine. And then just take them out when I want a cake. Just a little serving of cake. Fucking genius. I love it when these bakers, they're living in the year 3000, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the innovation is wild.
The innovation, and it's just a single serving
single
of cake.
serve cakes. Yeah, for sure. That's huge. That's a huge development.
Oh my god, speaking of developments, can we talk about, we have a little bit more canned news. We've got tattoo news. Could you tell the class about this tattoo news?
This tattoo? We do have tattoo news. First of all, slight case do fashion corner, because we did spend a lot of last week kind of ripping what she was wearing to shreds a little bit. But she's got a cute outfit in this one. It's nice. It's like a little suit moment. She looks like she's, you know, in like a fancy... Newsy. Yeah, it feels like very Heathers, like she's gonna play croquet, but also like in a sporty, cool way. She's got a cool hat. I love it. But folks have noticed that she's got a tattoo above her knee that says "mine." Hello. Hello.
She does.
And it's cute. And it's cute.
Is.
I love lesbians and their just very outward stampings of their loves in their life. Very visibly. I think it's very great.
I agree. Layla Muhammad, thank you for this piece on BuzzFeed. I appreciate it. For that, and then also these great photos of Kristen. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. This photo of Kristen's tattoo does not make me jump to the conclusion that Layla does, which is, hey, does this have any connection to Guilty as Sin from Taylor Swift? But sure. Let's debunk where
I can
this
see
is
how
from.
you got here. Yeah.
Because it's her knee and not her upper thigh. Because why would we see someone's upper thigh walking the can red carpet? But no, it's from a scene in the chronology of water. Mm-hmm. So, of course, this new tattoo would be coming out and premiering itself during the premiere of the chronology of water.
And sick of just being like, you know, mine also in a sense of like my wife, right? But also like, this is my fucking debut. This is my time, baby, you know? And like paying homage in multiple ways. And I think that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it could mean the actual context from the movie.
Right.
And it can also mean a lot of different things. It's a word. Mm-hmm. It's art. It's about marriage. That's kind of how tattoos work, folks. They have a lot of different meanings, which is great. I think it's great. I love it a lot. This fit has my stamp of approval. It's much better from last week, which I appreciate.
Yeah, she looks great.
No complaints. I'm so over not being allowed to use my ad blocker on Vampire Diaries Wiki. Yes, of course, I want you to get ads and support. But also, this place is
you gotta turn that on reader mode, baby, because it's otherwise that site is unusable.
It is terrifying without it. When we were here last week, we got some amazing content of our girl, Elena, and Rebecca living their truth in New York, Bonnie and Clyding it out of the city.
Yeah.
Damon left.
Just queening out
next.
together.
Exactly. I am so curious to know how you feel about this week's episode.
Listen, we got our girl Katherine back in the biz. And I love the interactions of new Elena, TM, plus Katherine, plus also Rebecca, because this is a girl
Catherine's
squad.
3 wigs, yes.
Right, plus, yes, exactly. And I think if they all just, like, worked it out on the remix, they could be really powerful together. You know what I mean? But I understand. They have different motivations, and that's okay. And they are at odds with each other. And I understand that. But it makes me sad because I love seeing them kiss and fight each other all the time. I love it.
A sick amount of tension between Rebecca and Katherine this episode. And we thought there was tension between Elena and Rebecca. And there is. Don't get me wrong. It still exists this episode. Because Elena's fucking tired of Rebecca's bullshit this episode, which is funny. It's not usually that way. It's usually the other way around. But Rebecca and Katherine and the stabbing this episode.
Hello.
And the grabbing in diner booths. Hello?
Folks.
I can't. I'm physically unwell.
I love, too, that, like, you know, they're on this wild goose chase to find Katherine because they stole the, you know, letter of all the little potential spots, right? And, you know, they're on this road trip, whatever the fuck, and Rebecca's on business. Rebecca's like, hey, we gotta get to the next one because I'm just, like, fucking over this and we need to just figure this out and find her.
Yeah.
And Elena's like, yeah, for sure. But also I'm hungies, so I'm gonna we just take a little pit stop, right?
Right.
And now Katherine's whole gambit, which is very smart, by the way,
it's so good.
Chilling out in Willoughby, Pennsylvania, or whatever.
They say that name
and
16 times this episode.
Yeah. You gotta remember it's Willoughby, okay? You gotta remember where you are. The tourism board is probably thrilled of the representation of their fine city in this program. But, like, Katherine has all of these, like, friends or whatever being like, hey, girls, but they're all compelled to be, like, close or whatever with Katherine, but, like, not know who Katherine is when she's talking to anyone but Katherine. And the way that works out of Elena talking to this woman and being like, thinking she's Katherine, and being like, hey girl, I know you were going to snap my neck and sometimes you prefer that, but I told you I really liked it from my wrist, so is that okay if we do that instead? Thank you. Please and thank you. And Rebecca's trying to be like, okay, what do you know, bitch? And she's like, who are you? Who is Katherine? Why are you talking to me? It's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I appreciate
so smart.
It
her
so
mind.
much.
Her mind.
Because Katherine was so confident that no one would find her in this random ass place. By the way, if you live in PA, can you tell me a little bit more context? Were you watching the show when it happened? What was the hubbub around Willoughby? What the fuck? Because everyone seems to know this place. Damien even got excited about this town, and I don't understand.
It's like, my dog, you were just in New York City. What do you...
Right.
You're stoked about Willoughby, Pennsylvania? Okay.
Why the fuck is everyone talking about this city? I've never heard of it in my entire life. I'm so confused. But okay, maybe it's an East Coast thing. Katherine was so on it, thinking no one will ever find her, that she never thought about the loophole of, hey, there's another person, not even in this world, in a couple of miles, right? In a drive's distance that has my face. Maybe I should plan for that when I'm compelling people. Right. But no, it doesn't matter. All I need to worry about is that someone has the cure and it's not me. I have a decoy in my granny house, and then I'm going to get dicked down from Elijah, and that's all that matters. I love her for that, first of all. Second of all, when Elijah showed up,
Dude.
I feel like if there had been a camera on me when I was watching this episode, I would have turn into fucking just anime red cheeks on my face. I was not expecting him to be there. I didn't even think about it being initials instead of a nickname. In a gazebo, I was ascending.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with this Lavender marriage.
No, literally.
They're here to queen out together, and I love that. You know what I mean? Because we said this about even Elijah and Elena. Like, they vibe, you know, they need to just queen out, right? But I also am fine with it being not Elena in this moment, because I think this is also great. I think this is a fine supplement to that. I think it's beautiful, and I like seeing Elijah, because he's my boy.
Here's the thing that is very confusing to me as someone who has to, like, the Stardew Valley Mines has to engage with AO3 every week. I have seen the Elena Elijah tag before come up, and have been very confused about it, because we have been very adamant that those two queen out together. They love to gossip. It has been very platonic, and I have not understood, why are y'all trying to force something that's not here? It's just, both of them are very serious. Elijah just looks at people like that. I don't get it. Why are you doing this?
Right.
And then you give this episode, and this motherfucker just smooches Elena.
Yeah.
And I say,
Hello.
oh, well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why that tag exists, okay? Elena had the audacity to take almost all of the accessories off of Katherine. She took her shoes, she took her bracelets, almost all of them. She took her jacket, and she didn't think, oh, hey, I have a daylight ring that Elijah has seen before.
Yeah.
And he's an original who's really smart.
Come on, girl. I appreciate the attempt, but
yeah,
let's be real.
Okay. She kissed back, though. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right. She committed.
Interesting is what I will say.
Yeah.
He was like the Pikachu shocked emoji this whole episode. And I...
yeah.
Poor Elijah.
No one is telling him jack shit. Which, I get it, because he is a gossip, right? So maybe that is in their best interest to not tell him important information. But every scene he is in this episode, he is, like, just blindsided fully by information.
It is so funny to watch him, who's supposed to be one of the most powerful people in this universe, just be shocked at every possible opportunity. Because what do you mean that you didn't know all this information? And also you didn't suspect that Katherine was lying to you? My good guy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But, all right, sure. Okay, Elijah. All right. Love that for you. And that you're just always in suits. But bless your heart. I have to, for the sake of myself, not talk about Damon and Stefan right now, because these two are just running in circles this entire episode.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here. Jesus Christ.
I just cannot not even get ahead of the game, but just on the pace of the game to save their lives. What I really appreciated this episode that we have not entirely seen before was Rebecca going like full German Shepherd mode.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I enjoy this aspect of her character a lot.
Yeah.
It is more interesting to me than her pretending to be rude. It is far more interesting to me than her wanting the cure and being like a hopeless romantic.
Right.
I like it when she's just rude to Katherine.
Right.
I like that.
It's really good.
I love that. And I would like more of it. I would love to know your thoughts on the decoy cure in the fish tank.
Oh my gosh. Listen, what the fuck is going on here?
This house is confusing to me.
This is sick. nasty work. Because what? What do you mean? And, like, God, I was so, like, for a brief moment, I willed myself to believe, right? Of being like, maybe Rebecca can get the ending she wants, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she won't get boned by the narrative again, you know?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Or her family, which always fucks her in the end, you know? In really hurtful ways. And just even the fact of her for, like, a second being like, oh my God, I feel alive, you know?
Ugh.
And that not being true because she's still a fucking vampire and it didn't fucking work. Because really she just took, like, a shot of her vein or whatever. Fuck.
It was such nasty work for that to happen. It made me very sad. Because even though I like Rebecca, I think it is more interesting for me to watch her when she is fighting with Damon, when she is fighting with Catherine. The character deserves, like she talks about with Elijah at the end, she deserves the agency to choose. And she wants to be a human. So of course I want that for her. I don't know that it will necessarily be the most engaging thing if that happens, but I want that for her.
And even like, the conversation she has with Elijah, right? Of him being like, okay, if this is what you think you want, like, it might not be the, cure-all that you think is going to be, right?
Right.
It might, sure, it's a new start or whatever, or it's a do-over in a way, but, like, you'll still have the same problems internally with yourself or with relationships with others that no longer being a vampire will not necessarily solve immediately. And she's like, got it, for sure. I know that. And maybe it won't be great, right? Maybe you'll still feel like shit or still, like, hate myself or whatever the fuck. But also, I want the ability to make that decision for myself. Mm-hmm. And if it's a flop, it's a flop. Whatever. But I did it, rather than being this, trapped in this against her will, for a long time. And it's like, fuck, dog. Ugh.
It sucks. I feel really bad for her. Knowing how this show works and the way that they treat women, I don't think that it's going to happen. Yeah. So I'm trying not to put all my bets on the table for it.
Right.
But I do think that I would like something good to happen to Rebecca. She does deserve
just
it.
Once, God.
Yeah, it would be nice. I am worried. I'm worried about Elijah and Catherine. Mm-hmm. I am not. He seems a little bit more skeptical by the end. Thank goodness. I am surprised that he let himself walk into that again, but I shouldn't be. This is Catherine's whole thing. She's really good at manipulating men. Mm-hmm. But who's to say? I keep saying that the originals are really powerful and strong, but they're pretty fallible, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of, Klaus is going through it this week.
Dude, there's like like just in the background, just like a torture chamber going on in Klaus's mind that is really like tonally a big shift from everything else that's going on here.
Because we are tough. Kind of having this like Tom and Jerry-esque thing happening in Willoughby. Because it is serious, but I mean, this is kind of... I don't want to call it a filler episode, because there are things that happen, but it isn't
sure.
as significant as the last few episodes that we've had, where it's like snap necks and fate and curses and shit like that. You know what I mean? So we have this, this rock and sogum happening over in Pennsylvania. And then cue back to Mystic Falls, and Klaus is just in a torture chamber in his mind.
Yeah. And the fact that, like, he's, like, he's got this, like, white oak shit in him, and he's fucking losing it. And Silas is becoming, like, the manifestation of Caroline.
Loved it.
As an illusion. Which is bonkers. and having this like back and forth, and it could be anyone, it could be any manifestation of any person, but like it keeps being Catherine or Caroline is like, oof, ouch. Like, okay, buddy. Jesus.
I loved that Silas became Caroline the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that as an audience member, I was not sure if it was really Caroline the second time.
Right. Yeah. Because it's like, at this point, real Caroline is like, motherfucker, stop texting me. Stop leaving me messages. I am on 3 prom committees right now. I have fucking work to do. You are annoying me. Okay? Enough. And Klaus is like, fuck you, Silas. Don't fuck with my brain again. Stop it. She's like, what are you talking about? And like the fact that it's like their banter kind of back. And it's like, oh shit, this is like for real Caroline. And her just being fucking pissed at him. Because she's like, I'm booked and busy, dog. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here in your mind of, your mind place of horrors, but fucking let me do my shit. Let me rock my shit. Okay?
And that you know that it is Caroline because she's like, well, I'll only help you if you call off hunting Tyler. And he's like, no, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. And she's like, all right, fine. And then just holds up on her phone. And he's like, well, I'll stay here until you decide that you're good. And her just checking her phone casually while we think that this chip of the steak is like moving closer and closer to his heart is wild.
Yup. Hello.
This is why this is far more of a testament to these characters because again, they don't like each other. Caroline, as far as we can tell, would rather Klaus hole up and die. I think it is also a testament to these actors because they have chemistry here. But I enjoyed this scene. I liked it when she had the pliers and was like, oh, you do have a heart. But it did not.
She's so good.
Because Caroline is great and she's amazing. It did not. None of this felt romantic to me at all.
Yeah. No.
If
anything, they ended this interaction as very lukewarm, not even friends, like just on the same side, right? Like, like not even like truly there. Like, obviously they're trying to make this feel a lot more resonant in romantic ways. But again, I don't think we've had any real evidence to suggest that is warranted. More so than just being like, hey, can you stop, like, being mad at my ex-boyfriend and trying to scour the entire country for him for the rest of his eternal life. If we're good on that, then I think we'll just be like, fine. We could just like shake hands, call it a day, It
is. And Klaus was like, well, you'll notice that like I haven't been chasing him around. And she's like, that doesn't mean fuck all to me.
Right.
I know that you have people around the world that could do that for you.
Yeah, and you change your mind about everything every second of your life.
Exactly.
So, like...
Exactly.
Could be one way today, next thing tomorrow, It
is... I agree. I don't know that they're acquaintances. I don't think that they're friends. I think it is more so of a, like, we're just not enemies at this moment. I think that...
It's like a temporary truce,
Exactly. Yes. Especially when Klaus realizes, right, that, like, he wasn't dying. This was all just Silas giving him the pain. And he was like, this motherfucker. He's nasty. This actor is unfortunately really good at acting in pain. He's doing his teary-eyed eyes a lot in this episode. And that's unfortunate because he's really good at that.
Yeah.
So that's annoying. The one thing that is unfortunate because these actors do have chemistry, and I remembered that we wanted to talk about this, is that Candace, who plays Caroline, is now engaged to Coach Ben from Yellow Jackets.
That's what a pairing.
And apparently the actor, Steven, is in the originals. In what context, I have no idea, because the originals canonically does not start until season 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, confusion right now. But I'm hoping that we get to a point where there is no longer this overt push towards Caroline and Klaus. That would make me feel better.
I would love that more than anything. Free me from this.
It would be nice. The one thing I am curious about, because if canonically the show, the originals, does start in season 5, y'all are going to need to tell us how you want us to watch that. Because...
Right. Yeah.
Do we need to be watching them at the same time?
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to need some questions. Y'all are going to need to let us know, because I'm afraid to investigate it online for spoilers.
Yeah.
So please let us know. One of the standout moments for me this episode was when Elijah told Rebecca that she does not have a smart brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because the brothers this episode, both sets, were not at their best as far as strengths go. One thing that I appreciated was that Damon and Stefan finally, apparently, looked at each other and were like, hey, so we've been making these same mistakes for 150 years. What if we didn't anymore? It only took us 4 seasons.
Yeah. Glad we got here. Oh, you identified patterns, destructive patterns that you guys were engaging in? Interesting. Wow. It's not like we clocked that 4 seasons ago.
Right.
But
episode 1.
I'm glad you got here, but like, geez Louise, man.
It just, they took a whole day where they're following Elena and Rebecca's trail. Only not on their own accord anyways. It's because of Liz that they get the call that his car was ditched. So it's not like they were doing anything proactive.
The fact that, they are late to this, right? Because they lost them, right? Because they left without them. And also, they show up at the bar or whatever, acting like they fucking saved their asses, being like, oh, thank God we're here. It's like, you haven't done shit. Like, you're... This is... You strolled in, like, days late to this. Like, correct. You're not... You're just here, You're adding more fuck shit to this.
It was wild to see them show up so late into this. I will say I am proud of Damon because he is very much on the side now of Elena needs to get it together. And apparently his come to Jesus moment was getting his neck snapped in New York. So good on him.
Yeah.
But I was surprised when he came in that he immediately clocked that was Katherine in the diner and not Elena. Because I fully expected, because these two, everything goes over their head.
Right, they're not the most perceptive people.
Right, so I fully expected him to see her hair, even though it didn't have the red streak in it at the time, and be like, oh, well, that's Elena, of course. So good on him. And Damon is having a little bit of a tough time, because he does get his face, like, full of vervain from Katherine.
Yeah.
So not his best moment. One of them,
not a great day.
Not his great day. Weirdly, one of the moments that stood out to me was Stefan trying to be really intimidating with Elijah on the phone.
Yeah.
This ego between the two of them being like, you need to stand down, and Elijah's like, you need to stand down. It's like, okay.
Can y'all kiss or something?
No, for real. Hey, Stefan, do you remember when Elijah almost pulled your heart out? Like the first time that you met him?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Hello.
You're embarrassing. It's so... This is not the game that you want to play right now.
No.
It is frustrating to watch. I mean, I'm glad that they are realizing, like, hey, we do need to kind of get our shit together, even though it's taken a long time.
Yeah, this is kind of a problem. We gotta
And they're
figure out.
So we're on the same side now. Elena needs to get it together. It's us against her. We need to get her on the same side. And they're like, yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately fold in that diner.
Yeah.
Y'all, what? I don't understand.
Yeah. Like, what happened, y'all? I thought we were
Stefan,
aligned.
you were literally the Ripper. How do you not see this coming?
Also, like, sidebar, when that scene happens, and it's, like, the waitress, and it's like, you guys can sit anywhere, or whatever, I, like, wasn't looking for, like, a second. Like, I looked away for a second, and I just heard the voice, and I was like, she sounds exactly like Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
No, exactly. Exactly.
And I was like, I mean, obviously that's not the case, because she was not, here for this. But I was like, that's wild. So that really took me out of this for a moment. I had to, like, go back and be like, what the fuck was that? But, like, Elena, obviously, it's like, bitches, like, you're never gonna get the cure in me. Like, you can do all you want, you pussies, but, like, I'm gonna be killing people left and right, motherfucker. I'm full of spite and anger and no emotions, baby. No humanity, baby. Fuck with me. And it's like, y'all didn't think of this? This has been kind of her attitude for a while. Like,
well, and also,
just because y'all finally want to do it doesn't mean she has changed her mind about anything, you know?
I just want to know what Damon and Stefan thought she meant when she said consequences.
Yeah.
Did they think that she was referring to when you're in fucking elementary school and they move you from green to yellow on the behavior chart? What the fuck?
Right.
Of course she meant killing people.
Yeah. Like, what? Hello? How is this surprising to anyone?
No,
here?
Stefan, she was going to change the doomsday clock down. What the fuck? Y'all are so embarrassing. Yeah, it was disturbing to see,
Sure.
obviously.
Sure.
But get it together.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm not okay with it, but I would be shocked if the writers keep her having a loss of humanity past the season finale.
Yeah. Right.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Something's got to give, for sure.
You know what has to give is them showing me dead Jeremy in the recaps each episode.
God.
I'm so fucking over it. You either give him to me back or you stop putting that, because I can't emotionally handle watching that and then not having Bonnie in an episode. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It feels rude to me.
Yeah.
I don't. I also said the only other thing that I have in my notes that we have not talked about, the most surprising thing to me was the fact that when we got to see Katherine's phone, she types in lowercase.
Yeah. Huge.
What's
news.
that about?
Love that. Love that. She's a casual girly, you know?
That was incredibly surprising, and I was not expecting that. I just assumed because she's been around for so long that she was old-fashioned and formal, but maybe she's just really tapped in.
Yeah.
And the opposite. So who's to say? You know what I mean? We never know. I am very excited, scared, nervous about next week.
All of the feelings.
Because it's the titular prom episode.
Oh, gosh.
And y'all know what they love to do about big events on this show.
Right. Things famously go really well and according to plan.
Yeah. We never just have a really good filler episode on a big prom.
Caroline just can't enjoy her handiwork for
Correct.
one episode and be like, I did a good job and I did a great event, you know? God.
Yeah. She never gets to enjoy an event she did where no one dies. And so I'm scared.
Right. Yeah. Not feeling great about that streak, you know?
She looks great, though, in this photo.
Yeah. It's a great dress.
Scared to see it covered in blood or whatever's going to happen. But I'm nervous. If this goes the way it usually does, of 22 episodes, we're almost there. Next week is 19.
Yeah.
So I'm. It's not looking good, folks. I'm scared. Maybe Silas will win prom queen.
Yeah. Hey.
Fingers crossed. You know what I mean? We have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Greg Lautner.
Ooh, thank you to April Dobrev.
Ooh, thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh, thank you to Janae Bennett.
Ooh, thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh, and last but certainly not least, thank you to Jaylene Ivishkov.
Pew, pew, pew.
So I have a fanfiction for you. This was written by the author Terapsina is how I'm going to pronounce that. It is titled Initials. This is a one-shot fanfiction. It has 2,000 words, and I wish I could read it all for you because all of it is really good. Instead of doing that, I'm going to read the summary for you. But I would recommend, if this intrigues y'all, to go read it and go give Terapsina some love.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the summary. It was the amusement that tipped Rebecca off. The way that underneath the offended anger, Katherine was just about singing, "I know something you don't know," all saccharine pleasure and victory. Rebecca furrowed her brows. "Gimme that," she said, nicking the phone out of Elena's hand and staring at the two-letter word they'd taken for a nickname just minutes ago. "Hey," Elena snapped with barely detectable annoyance. Rebecca kept staring down at the screen, ignoring the questioning eyes of both doppelgangers. Meadam stared back at her. She cursed under her breath. Not a nickname at all, was it? Or, American Gothic, but Elena never gets a chance to pretend to be Katherine. Not that this means there won't be a moment for her and Elijah to share. The sky is still blue, after all. End scene.
Damn.
So if there was apparently this it falls under the tag of both Elena and Elijah and also Elena and Rebecca. So if that is of interest to you, Terapsina has got you for a quick one-shot. Posted very recently, just a couple of months ago. Thank you for our AO3 warriors. We appreciate you always.
Love that.
Friends, I have a new television show that I'm going to go watch this week. Especially because when this comes out, it's a holiday, so y'all know what I'm going to be doing.
True. Mm-hmm.
Tell your friends about the show. Tell your family about the show. Join us on Patreon. We have an exciting bonus that will be coming out for you.
Yes.
And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Ow.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.